Oh, hey there. So I just found out, and this makes me so mad, that funeral homes have raised their prices significantly. And here's the part that makes me mad. They're blaming it on the rising cost of living. Do I have to explain this? Or do you think you understand? The cost of living is why it costs more to die? All right. So here's my question for you. Serious answers only. If you were a superhero, what would you want your superhero powers to be? Now, there's no wrong answers. Please make videos, tag me, do edit, whatever you want to do. I don't care. There's no wrong answers. But I will say this. The right answer is you don't have to limit it to one power. Okay. So in my personal case, I want to be able to, if I was a superhero, and I'm not saying I'm not, if I was a superhero, I'd want to be able to travel at the speed of thought. So anywhere in the universe, just be like, I want to go to whatever, and then I'd be there. Now, that becomes problematic unless I have my second superpower, which is absolute immunity to anything that could possibly harm me. Okay, so that's very important. Now, that would get lonely from time to time. I'm on Saturn's second ring or whatever. I'd want to bring my friends, and so that brings me to my third power, which would be the power to heal myself and others, because there might be something that I didn't anticipate. I'm like, oh, we teleported over here and this was a huge mistake. This is dangerous. And then I'd want to be able to heal them and myself and get back to safety. So that would be another thing. Obviously, I want to be able to fly. I think everybody wants that. I'd want to be able to breathe anywhere, okay? Because if I'm going to go anywhere in the universe, then there'd be places I'm like, this was a mistake. I'm having a hard time breathing. So I'd want to be able to breathe anywhere. I want to have the power of positive influence. Okay, so this is different than mind control or reading minds. I don't want to do that. All right, I don't want to have a bunch of robots and puppets and things like that. And I don't want to hear what people have going on their heads, because I see what goes on social media. And to be honest with you, you can keep that chattering monkey to yourself. But I want, when people are around me, to go, you know, I just want to be a better person when I'm around you. I'm like, okay, well, then do it. I'm not forcing them to do it. You know, if they do or if they don't, that's their choice. But somehow, like, people are like, you know, I want to be better. I want to be nicer. I want to be kinder when I'm around you. I'm like, good, let's do that. And then, you know what happens? Everywhere I go, I'm like, huh, it's like everybody is nice, which is kind of a weird phenomenon. Now, this brings me to speaking of funerals. Okay, so I remember the first time that I was in a funeral procession. And before that, you know, people be like, oh, you need to like pull over if there's a funeral procession out of respect. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of in a hurry, right? But then I was in one and I realized that when everybody pulls over and does their part for, you know, a few minutes or however long it is, that what happens is when you're in that procession, it feels like the whole world has stopped for this person. Like they have left the earth and the entire world stopped. Now it doesn't, okay? It's just people stopping along the way. But because everything you see is that, then it feels like the entire world stopped out of respect, out of shock or mourning or whatever it might be for this person's death. And so I feel like, maybe it's pretty privilege or whatever, but I feel like most places I go, people are nice to me. You know, people are happy, and I like that. Now, I think it might have something to do with the fact that I'm nice to other people and I'm happy around other people. I'm encouraging, uplifting, positive, and all that sort of thing. And so I think I might be going through like a funeral procession, but of happiness. And everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, that's not so bad. So I think that that's a power that I already possess. But I want to hear what your superhero powers are or what you want them to be, because I feel like we don't use our imaginations enough. And if you don't use it, then you lose it. And you'd be like, how's your imagination muscle looking? And you're like, pretty wimpy. It's just, you know, and I'm like, well, maybe you ought to exercise that a little bit. And so I try to work mine out all the time. And I want to hear what your superhero powers are going to be, because it'll give me ideas. Love you guys.